Hi guys, Shayna from the future. In the editing process, really struggling trying to make this succinct and explain everything that I want to explain, and I'm feeling a ton of anxiety about it. I am struggling trying to put this discussion in a concise manner because it is so important. It is the most pivotal element of what makes humans so unique. It's the moment that humans diverged from every other animal on this earth. The development of language necessitated by premature birth caused from an increased brain capacity and increased usage of tools and an upright standing position. This is so important to understanding how humans evolve and how we process everything from information to stimulus to interpersonal interactions to how we feel throughout the day. This is such an important piece. Why we are the way we are. Because we process things intellectually through our cerebral cortex. Massively important. Other animals might learn things, but they do not have the cerebral cortex that we do. It is enormous. And the cerebral cortex is where we store learned behaviors. Language and that higher brain is both our greatest triumph as humans and what sets us so far apart. And it's also kind of poorly designed. Like everything else in nature, it's kind of post hoc. Like you deal with it when you get there if there's a problem. Life doesn't evolve expecting things to go wrong. It's more of a reaction to things going wrong, right? It's not designed perfectly. And that's why it's so important to understand how it's designed in order for us to understand how to use it in the future in dealing with emotions and everything else that I want to talk about in this channel. This is a foundation principle that I really want you to understand so that you can have just a little better context for the way our brains work the way they do. Also remember, we are still animals. We just have this big old learned brain sitting on top of that lizard brain, and we're dealing with it the best we can. I'm just going to check in really quick. This can be a practice that you can do anytime, and we want to get something out of every video, right? So here's your self-work moment for this video. Now, I'm experiencing a ton of anxiety. I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten up and walked around the house, made breakfast, and I wanted to turn on the TV so bad. I wanted to go to the gym already so bad. I told myself I wanted to get through this evolutionary element of the conversation before I would let myself do anything else, and I am crawling out of my skin because I don't want to sit here anymore. This is a learning opportunity. Why do I have so much anxiety about this? Well, I just said it's the most important part of understanding humans and what separates us and what makes us so unique and different. And I want it to be expressed so eloquently and perfectly that I am avoiding all of it. I have recorded, I don't even know how many times trying to say the same fucking thing, and I've probably already said it and you probably already understand. To me, it's so important that I can't let it go. So here's what I'm gonna do. And I want you to think about this the next time you feel that little avoidance trigger against something that's really important to you. It might not even be that important. It might just be something that you need to do today. But you feel that little like, ooh, this is getting hard. This is getting awkward. I'm just going to duck my head in the sand. Fuck it. Let's go over here. Ooh, that looks a lot easier. You know what's easier than dealing with having to explain your most favorite part of human evolution to strangers? Not doing that. Watching TV, going to the gym, going for a walk, avoiding the computer altogether. Maybe we should write a podcast about something else. No, this is an important foundation that I have to get through, and it means a lot to me. So what I'm going to do is remind myself that this is really important, and that's why I'm feeling discomfort, because it means a lot to me. I have placed a lot of importance on it in relation to my mission and what I wish to share. There's an element of my identity that I've placed onto this exterior concept that I'm trying to explain to you. Anytime we do that, it's gonna be really vulnerable, and it's gonna be a lot easier to not be vulnerable and instead avoid the vulnerability altogether. I am going to challenge myself, and I challenge you, the next time it feels vulnerable and you want to back away, don't. Next time it feels vulnerable and you want to run away from that feeling, don't check out, check in. We're checking in on everything else in the world, but we don't check in on ourselves. So don't check out, meaning don't go and distract yourself with the TV. Check in. Check in with yourself. Even if you still go and do the TV, at least check in with yourself and say, hey girl, what's with the anxiety going on here? What are these feelings that are coming up? Why are you feeling so anxious about talking about something? Oh, because it's really important to you and you feel really vulnerable talking about it? Does that mean it's something that you should avoid? Probably not. The things that are really important to us are the things that are really vulnerable. The things that are really vulnerable, we really want to protect. But when we protect them, we hide them. And we hide ourselves. And we hide who we truly are. And we hide what really matters. I'm challenging you and myself right now to be courageous in the face of vulnerability. To be brave. To be afraid and go forward anyways. Because that is living the most authentically that you can. You're not hiding your head in the sand. You're not running away from your truth. You're not running away from who you really are or what you really want to say. You're courageously facing this very scary world, and you might fall and you might screw it up. Okay. Be willing to fall. Be like a mom. Watch her kid go out on that playground and frickin' fall and scrape his knees. You can't helicopter parent yourself forever. You've got to love yourself enough to be willing to let yourself fall. Because that's the only way you learn. You have to fall down to learn how not to fall down. You have to be courageous to learn how to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable in order to live authentically. That's just part of the deal. And if that's important to you, then it's time to man up. It's time to put on your big boy pants and face that scary thing and do the thing anyways. And do it badly. Who cares? At least you did it. You'll feel better about yourself, I promise. This is a tangent, but it's also a very useful one. I'm going to implement it now, and I hope that you like this video. I just made a song about the most ridiculous title.